processing power away from my webcam. There we go.
Okay, TikTok is going. Looks like Twitch is going. Get this full screened. And now Instagram is going. So I should be good to go. Who's bringing us in?
I did it the last few times. Hey Ray, I don't think you've ever brought us in.
I don't make me do that.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay. Before you go, give me a warning. Where are we at? Oh, we're ready. Okay. I'm unmute. I'm unmuting. So as soon as you're ready, give me a thumbs up, and I'll take it off my starting screen.
Just doing one final check of stuff. I'm good.
I'm good. I'm just doing a quick tweak because my
Hit it, Fireball.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Nomad Gamers podcast. Of course, you got the three of us again. Me, Fireball. In the top right, you've got Godfather. And in the middle, below, you've got the one and only Zanar Crest Rider. And we make your Nomad Gamers. Thank you guys for watching us. If you do enjoy the content, please give us a like and follow on our YouTube. And if you really, really like our content, hit that notification bell so you know every single time we go live or if we post. We haven't gone live yet. We're still working those kinks out. If you're on Facebook and you see us on Facebook, if you see our clips, like our clips and whatever, please hit a follow. We are very close to being able to go live on Facebook. As for solo socials, we've got Godfather. He's on Twitch and on TikTok, I believe.
And Facebook Live.
Yep, he's the only one that has hit 100 followers on Facebook, so he can go live. As for me, I'm on TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Kick. I've got one of those like industrial fishing nets when it comes to socials, so I can get a wide variety. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Did I miss anything? I haven't done that in a long time.
There's a reason he kind of skips over me when he's talking about socials, because if he's got the industrial fishing net, I'm the equivalent of the kid with a string on a stick, where it kind of exists, but it's not really going to do anything. There's no hook on the end; it's just a string and a stick.
All right, boys.
Real quick, I want to give a huge shout out to somebody real quick, and I know that I shared it to their page, so maybe some of them will come over and view us, but I want to give a shout out to the Pokemon Go community for the Quad Cities. So I want to give a shout out to them, and also let everybody know that we will be doing an interview with some of those players. We're trying to figure out a good time now.
Yep. All right. So where do we want to start first? I haven't seen a lot of stuff mainstream. I had to go deep diving a little bit, which surprisingly, because there's been a lot of things going on this week. Anybody want to go first? Otherwise, I'll jump in.
Yeah, Zanar Crest Rider.
I was actually going to say, with Fireball having a number of topics and kind of dominating our list today, because we are actually trying to be a little organized. We have a list of topics we want to talk about. Why don't we let him hit a couple of his, and then we'll break it up so that he's just not talking for 45 minutes straight by himself.
All right.
Well, I think he's going to piss Godfather off here in a minute.
So, first off, we all know how much Godfather loves the game Starfield. So let's just start there.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, here we go.
Starfield is coming to PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew that.
I
Reported. You have not been watching my episodes of Talking Tuesday and Thirsty Thursday.
It's kind of
you?
hard when somebody's on third shift, buddy.
It's not that hard.
But
There's this thing
yeah,
called recording and mobile.
I can't do that when I'm busy, and I have been busy.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I was kind of surprised because, well, Starfield was the first. I wanted to say the first new IP that Bethesda's had. I thought they were going to keep it maybe somewhat exclusive.
Well,
I mean, prior to being acquired by Microsoft, Bethesda wasn't an exclusive dealer. They put their stuff out everywhere. It was only after Microsoft bought them that they started doing exclusive, but Microsoft has since started changing their stance. I mean, hell, we've got Halo coming to other places.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're willing to share their games. So it stands to reason that slowly pretty much everything of theirs is going to be opened up because they've decided it doesn't matter where you play it, only that you play it.
Mm-hmm. And with this last week, I know one of the big exclusives, Helldivers. Of course, you can see my background here. Xbox players had just joined, and then just this past week, they launched another big update for it. So, I mean, I guess I can see where you're coming from
before we get to Helldivers, the whole thing with Starfield, I think we are now witnessing the cooling or the thawing of the console wars, at least for now. It might be a brief pause, but if you remember back when Starfield first came out, Microsoft or Xbox, however you want to say it, they were adamant that Starfield would never come to the PlayStation 5. Never. And for many years, they never... it's been out for what, 3 years now? Maybe just under 3. But they have never given an indication that Starfield would go to the PlayStation. I think what we are seeing now, and I could be very wrong, and this is just my opinion, but I think we might be seeing Xbox moving away from the console and starting to become a publisher. Because if you go out to any of the game industry news, which I cruise all the time, the consoles are being blasted for how high they are. And that's a whole nother topic for another time. But Bethesda is not done with Starfield by no means. They're coming out with a new DLC sometime in 26. Can't get here quick enough. The rumors are it's going to be Starborn. We're going to go back and look at the origins of Starborn. But from everything I'm seeing now, Starfield has a very bright future if you are hardcore into that game.
I think it's more of a realigning of priorities between the companies. Microsoft has been pushing their Xbox for, over 25 years.
Yep.
And they're like, at this point, it's basically just a low-end PC. So now they're moving into the handhelds, which is at least different than, a console basically being a lockdown PC. So they're shifting over to that, but at the same time, they're like, if we're going to take a loss on the console anyway, why don't we just throw our stuff out everywhere, see where it sticks? Because if nothing else, we're getting royalties from all of that every time they make a sale anyway.
Exactly. They're probably going to make more money or more
and
more
the attitude
money.
of the attitude of the gamers is also a big part of it, because over the last 10 years, there has been a much larger shift of players moving from consoles to PC gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that there has.
Which is, I think, one of the driving forces that finally made Sony start putting their stuff on Steam. Because now all of a sudden we had PlayStation exclusives popping up on Steam. We now have Xbox exclusives going to PlayStation. Those have come to Steam most of the time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Or are, even if they're only available in the Microsoft Store, they're still available on PC.
Well, it doesn't help.
Except for Banjo-Kazooie for some reason.
Well, it doesn't
They
help.
own Rare. Put it out where I can play it, damn it.
All right. Well, it doesn't help that nowadays people are now choosing PC over console because console is the same price for a low end PC. So why not
Yeah.
just get the PC? You know, you're gonna have the time. You could slowly put the money into it instead of dropping it on a console and then 5 years later it being moved out of the way for the new console.
Well, look at it like this too. Okay, just look at it like this for a minute. How much is a PlayStation 5 today?
$600.
$600.
Mm-hmm.
How much is an Xbox today?
No, depends on if you get the S or the X. X is like
Okay,
I mean,
let's
that's the same argument between the PS5 and the PS5 Pro.
Well, a base PS5 I believe is 600. An Xbox Series S is I think like 650, something like that.
Okay. Now, most players, if they're going to go out and get a console, they're going to get all the bells and whistles with it because they want to be able to play a game.
Right.
Am I right? How much is the Switch 2 now?
$800.
Switch 2?
No,
Or no, I'm
it's not
sorry.
that high.
I'm sorry. I say $800 because that's how much it is for the Switch, the new Soulsborne game, and I forget what else is
I
wrapped up
didn't.
into it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
I get
it's
it.
like $550, $600 as well.
No, it's actually below that.
The Mario Kart bundle is 500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is the quote unquote expensive version of
Yeah.
the Switch 2 right now.
Now, I can only speak for myself and Fireball because we're the only two that are local, and Ray is the one that is like 1,000 miles away from us.
Crest Rider.
But at the end of the day, if I'm paying $500-$600, even $700 for when they first come out, I know my laptop came in just over 1,000.
Mine did too.
I know Fireball's did, and I'm pretty sure that Crest Rider's computer came in probably right around 1,500.
We don't want to talk about Crest Rider's computer.
Yeah, nothing
That's
nothing added
a
on.
low
But I
end
guess
PC.
Fireball. I guess what I'm trying to say here is this: is why in the hell would I keep spending every 2 years or 3 years or 4 years? Why would I keep spending $500 for a PS5, then spend another $500 for the Xbox, and then another $500 for the Nintendo Switch? That's just for the base console. That's not counting the games. Now, when you put the games into it, and especially in today's market, you're looking at 60, 70, 80, and if the rumors are true with Grand Theft Auto 6, it's going to be $100 a copy. When I can go get a PC for just over $1,000, low end, very good gaming PC, and then pay, I don't know, I think I pay like $22 a month for Xbox Game Pass.
And even then, this is the best thing that I like about PC gaming is you go onto Steam, they've got some sort of sale going on at some point within the year.
Yep.
And their biggest thing, like the summer sale and then their end of season sale, which is in the winter, you're looking at mainstream games anywhere between 20% off to 70%. So, I mean, even then you're gonna save money when it comes to PC gaming because there are so many different sales.
Yeah.
For example, Focus Entertainment is running a publisher sale right now through the 15th. Space Marine 2 is 50% off.
Oh, see, just like that. I just got 7 Days to Die, which was a $40 game. I got that for $20 on the sale that Steam was running. So, I mean, again, you're gonna have mainstream games that you're gonna be able to pick up for a pretty good price rather than being. I mean, you're probably not gonna be able to play it day one, but wait for that summer sale, wait for that winter sale, even then wait for that publisher sale, and you're gonna be able to pick it up. Moving on, because I mean, like I said, I've got a lot to talk about.
You do.
This might. I don't know if Crest Riders saw this yet, but the source is from InsiderGaming.com. The Insomniacs.
Hold on, you're cutting out.
You do keep cutting out a little bit.
No, I don't have
if you got push to talk on.
Hold on, let me bring it. Let me bring it a bit closer. Is that better?
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Insomniac's Wolverine game will likely be in PlayStation's State of Play at the end of September. The sources confirmed that there's a trailer already ready for the game. There's a trailer ready to go for the game. So,
I mean, there is something to be said for getting dumped into a character whose entire mantra is just shred the shit out of everything in sight.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
I get that Wolverine's one of the good guys, but let's face it, when he gets into a fight, that's basically all he does.
I'm excited, especially with Insomniac. I believe Insomniac's the one that made Spider-Man, right?
I do believe so.
I think so.
And they made some very good games.
And Spider-Man was one of the top contenders for PlayStation. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Wolverine, because Wolverine is, it's going to be the first iteration, and we're just going to have to see where it goes with that. But I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of content they could cover for multiple games.
And I don't think Wolverine's ever had its own standalone game, has it?
No, he's usually a character in a game.
Normally,
either an X-Men or a Marvel-focused game.
Oh yeah,
the last game I think I saw a Wolverine cameo in was in the Xbox 360 Deadpool game. And I don't know how long
he was in Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, I do remember that too.
Yeah, he was my favorite character to play.
But yeah, I'm excited for that, and I hope all PS5 players are excited. I don't know if they're going to launch it on PS5 or if they're going to wait for the PS6 to launch it.
Who knows? That's the other thing about the consoles, is the console generations are getting shorter and shorter, it seems.
Well, and even then, you talking about console generations, there was something that I saw in an interview where they were talking about how there's starting to be a development plateau when it comes to new consoles.
Well, yeah, because it's catching up to the specs of PC, and our ability to push PCs, it's getting to be diminishing returns. We're getting smaller and smaller incremental increases. Either we need to develop new technology entirely, or figure out a new way of doing what we're doing. Because what we're doing, the iterative versions are, we're reaching the end of what we can do with that. That's not to say there aren't improvements to be made, but it's going to take somebody figuring it out. Just like that group that figured out that existing fiber lines could hold so much more data than they currently do. I look forward to that going mainstream and all of us suddenly having much better internet.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Because it was like they didn't have to change their infrastructure either.
The internet around where me and Fireball are at is absolutely, well, one company's garbage. The other company I've been hearing pretty good reviews about.
I live in an area that the only reason we have decent internet is because there is a large university that needed it.
Yeah.
And they steal like a large chunk of the pipeline, so.
All right. You think I could get a topic in here?
Go right ahead.
Go for it.
This one here, I can already guarantee you that Crest Strider's eyes, either A, he's heard about it, or B, his eyes are going to go wide and he might start jumping up and down about it. So, the Wizards of the Coast president would love a new Dungeons and Dragons MMORPG. Now,
it'd be cool.
Back in 24, I say back in 24 like that was a long time ago, which it wasn't. It was about a year ago. John Haidt became the president of Wizards of the Coast, the Hasbro-owned company that's in charge of two of the most precious brands in gaming, Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering.
See, you kind of touched upon the part that's keeping me from getting excited.
Well, what they're doing, I guess, and you're going to know this, and even Fireball know this more than I would. I am not either one of these two players. I guess they clamped down on the licensing about 2 years ago
They
for
tried to.
For D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons. Yep. So I guess what they've done now is they have relaxed those again back to the way they were, and now I can only speculate on this part. I read the article. I don't know a lot about the game. I have played it before, but I don't know much about it.
Well,
I don't know if what they're trying to do is if they're going to try and make Dungeons and Dragons like World of Warcraft, because this cat that took over as president at one point in time was the president of, I think it was Warcraft, which is the game before World of Warcraft.
well, and the thing is,
I don't know.
I know it is.
I would love for them to do something like that, but again, talking about how they were clamped down on a bunch of the stuff for D&D, they did, because there were a lot of homebrew stuff that was being created that went mainstream, and the people who created D&D weren't making money off of it, so they were like, nope, copyright, you can't use that. And so a lot of people,
their new license that they tried to pass basically said if you make it and you publish it online for use, we now own the copyright on it and we can use it without paying you royalties for it.
that was
So they basically said, go ahead, develop all of our stuff for us. We're going to make the money on it, not you.
and that turned a lot of people away from wanting to play D&D, and the group
That
I
single
was a
move
part
is
of-
why we now have untold numbers of new systems out there.
Yep.
That's why Critical Role's running their own system instead of D&D anymore.
Well, this kind of goes to back to a conversation that Fireball and I had off camera before we came on this morning. And it had to do, and we're not going to get all the way into it because I'm not comfortable putting these names on the internet. But the 5M community out there that I'm very interested in. Fireball's actually a member of one of them. And Ray knows somebody in that community as well. But like I was telling Fireball off air, is these modders and these creators out there. Let's call them creators. I don't like the word modder. Let's just call them creators, okay? They have to be very careful with what they do, because the way that the copyright laws are written, at least in the United States, if you get close to something that's copyrighted, if the image looks like it, if the color scheme is the same, if you have, like, let's say a shield with black and gold, and you don't use any of the real words, because it looks so similar, that company could come in and say, you got two options. And this is what happened with D&D. You got two options here. One, you can keep creating. We don't care. But we own that intellectual property, which means we're going to recreate this. You just keep making it for us as an unpaid person. And oh, by the way, if you disagree with that and you say no, then we will see you in court.
Before we move on to something I remember seeing this, and I wanted to bring it to your attention, because we're talking about copyright. In 2034, Superman and Batman become public domain.
Unless they get, there is a way for them to get an extension. And
I think because they're still actively making things for those.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
don't get me wrong. The original works that came out, those will be public domain.
Yep, the original works for Superman
But
and Batman will be public domain.
It's not like people can go into the actively running comic lines and just start doing their own thing.
No, they can't. Well, that's what I'm talking about. The original images that were created for Superman and Batman will become public domain.
Well, the logo of Superman and the logo of Batman will not.
No. However, the characters, like, again, the characters in
They
the
won't either. They won't either.
The original character
If
drawings.
well, see, here's what I think is happening. Okay, because it's interesting that you brought that up, because I didn't know that. But it's interesting that you brought that up because there's a new Superman coming out, and from what I heard, is that this new Superman is going to go back to its origins, and I thought it was kind of cool. Number one, and number two, I was wondering why they were going back in time and not forward. Well, now that you said that, it makes all kinds of sense to me. Because if they bring out a new movie or they bring out a new comic or something, like with a timestamp of 2026 on it, that resets the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes a hell of a lot of sense.
All right, well, let's jump back on topic now, talking about 5M. I just thought that was a cool thing that I needed to share.
Well, 5M wasn't the topic, but...
Or copyright. Talking about 5M copyright and stuff like that.
Well, D&D and copyright. That was the original topic.
Anybody else got anything else to say? Otherwise, we can move right along.
I got nothing on that right now.
All right. So this is just going to be something really quick. A lot of my Escape from Tarkov players out there that I know, watching the Peanut, I know people probably heard about him, but Escape from Tarkov is now going to be coming to Steam. Instead of just having its own standalone where you have to go to their website and buy it there and then you can download it from there, you can now go to Steam.
Again.
You can now go to Steam and pick it up there. So that's something that's going to be nice.
You got something wonky with your settings.
Yeah, it's not picking up your voice all the time. It's cutting out. You may have to lower your threshold for detection.
Yeah. Let me just do that real quick.
Well, while you're playing with that, I can touch on one of my topics.
All right, go ahead.
So 2 days ago, people may realize that Hollow Knight Silksong came out.
Yes, it did.
And promptly crashed every store that it was available on.
All right, let's try that.
To the point people were struggling to even wishlist the game on Steam. They couldn't do anything with it. They completely shut down those stores. People were going to social media and complaining about it, while others who managed to get it were going to social media and gloating about it. So, gamers being gamers, either they're bitching or they're bragging.
Mm-hmm.
I did check, and it is, at least on Steam. Steam's perfectly functional now. You can pre-order the game, you can buy it.
Switch 2 is also.
So they gave a nice little hiccup to the game, is all.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes you get that.
That just goes to show you, this is an indie title. It crashed every store it released on. Yep. You don't need a big AAA game to do that. In fact, most AAA games don't even give a hiccup to the thing, unless it's GTA or Call of Duty sometimes. But even those, they don't have that same level of effect. It doesn't matter who makes the game. All that matters is that they make a good game, and they got a reputation for making a good game.
Mm-hmm.
So, earlier this week, I was in the Shire. I was researching topics for Talking Tuesday, and I ran across a Switch 2 title, or a Switch 2 news article, that said that Silksong had crashed their store. And I went, I don't know what Silksong is, so I'm just going to keep going. Then I seen that it crashed PSN. Then I seen that it was crashing Steam. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with this? So then I went and I looked it up and I went, oh. But I am so happy that an indie game has crashed them, because it's that big of a deal. That is huge. So, like I say on Talking Tuesday and Thirsty Thursday, you have to tip your hat to these little guys when they do something like this. And I'm going to give them praise wherever I go when they do something right. And then, as everybody here has seen, I am going to sit here and absolutely annihilate them when they do something wrong, like Rockstar, Bethesda, Xbox, PlayStation, you name them. I've bitched about them at one point in time.
All right. Well, so can you guys hear me better now?
Yep.
All right.
For now.
We'll see.
The Fallout creator Tim Kaine, he was talking. I don't know if he was talking on it because I believe he has his own social, but he was talking about how when it came to the original Fallout storyline, he he wanted to end Fallout after the first game.
You're cutting out again.
I have no idea what's.
Okay. So what did he say?
Hold on.
He wanted the original Fallout to just be a complete story and not become a ongoing universe.
Well, good for him.
No, you got nothing out of that mic.
We're having some technical difficulties right now with them. Nope.
What about now?
Nope.
Fuck.
While he's fighting with his microphone,
yeah,
we'll come back to his. Oh, there you go.
We heard. Yeah, there you are.
You heard that now, didn't you? But yeah, Tim Kaine wanted the Fallout just to be a one game kind of thing, but he also said that long RPGs of 120 plus hours or more are inaccessible to many gamers as well as costing too much to produce.
You keep cutting out.
Yeah. Gotta figure something out, bud. All right, while he's fixing that,
switch yourself over to studio mode. It'll keep your channel open.
I'm already in studio mode.
Under voice and audio input profile, hit studio.
Is that better?
We'll find out. Yeah, we'll find out real soon.
Right.
So I think I heard the same thing, but it's been a while since I heard it. Was he a part of Fallout before it became Bethesda?
Yes.
I can't remember that part.
Yes, he
was.
He was the original creator for 1 and 2.
Okay. Well, 2's garbage. Let's just put that out there now. 2 is garbage.
Maybe that might explain why. If he put all the effort into 1 as a complete story and then they went, oh no, you're going to make another one and he didn't want to do it, that would explain it.
But at the same time, I'm calling it garbage looking back in retro. Okay? I played it in 2025 and that game came out in what, 1998? 1999? It was in the 90s when it came out. Mm-hmm. Now, I have the freedom to say it was garbage because of where we're at with the graphics and what we expect out of a video game now. But let's not fool ourselves here for a second. It was good enough at that time to propel that company forward for where Bethesda bought them out. So they were doing something right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to talk about this.
Can I have a go back?
I mean, sure.
Okay, so I just tripped across something, and I believe Fireball brought it up, and I'm going to bring it back up, but as a go back. I just found the announcement for the Starfield new DLC. Shattered Space was the first one that they released back in September of 2024. So honestly, we're just at a year with this DLC, which for video games is still almost, it feels like forever.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't revive the game's dwindling player count in a meaningful way like they were hoping. They're kind of hoping that the new DLC, or the second one, might change it.
Now, hold on.
We are?
Yeah, like I just...
You did for a second.
All of us?
You did.
I did?
Yeah, your screen cut for just a second.
Yeah, your audio went muted for a second. I mean, you guys did mention that your internet was kind of crappy.
Yeah, so it might
It's
be
just
that.
definitely leading some credence to it.
No, what happened was, and this happens sometimes. My background, the green screen, I'm running too much on my computer, so sometimes the green screen gets me all messed up. So I just eliminated it. It is what it is. But
Eliminated.
what?
I said eliminated.
Yep, it's gone. Oh, keep going. This thing's going back and forth. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
I'm gonna save this one for a little bit later.
okay, so you know how we're running in the day and age where video games are over 200 gigabytes
Yes.
Easily.
easily. Call of Duty just compressed its files down from 126 gigabytes down to 25.
And all that
Yeah.
tells you is they could have been doing that the whole time.
Exactly. That goes back to goes back to what we were talking about, how video games are getting bigger and bigger and storage size is staying the same because they want you to delete all the other games so you just play their game.
You just cut out.
Yep. We just lost a majority of what you had to say.
Okay. I think it's just the internet.
It is not the internet.
I think it's you guys having mic detection issues because your mics are too far away from you.
My mic is literally like maybe 6 inches away from me.
I don't know what to tell you then.
You got something messed up.
All right, but back to what I was saying.
Talk too much.
This just goes back to the whole video game sizes are getting increased, and
It's the textures.
And storage is staying the same because they want you to delete other games, so you're sitting at just being able to play that one game because that's all you can have on your storage. And now, hopefully, you know, I'll give Call of Duty applause to this because, yeah, you condense your files. Thank you. Now I can play something else on my console.
I look forward to the days that the AAA developers realize that we don't need 8K hyper realistic textures to have a good game.
No.
Well, I believe myself and Crush Rider were talking about this. It was either Talking Tuesday or Thirsty Thursday.
Oh, hey, I appreciate it. Sorry, I was getting likes on the live and I didn't realize that. Thank you, Links.
I find it funny how it comes full circle between Talking Tuesday, Thirsty Thursday, and this program. And me and Ray touch on some things, and then you bring Fireball in, and he brings it to the program. We've already talked about it. But and it's all good. But like me and Ray said on one of those two shows, was we think they're doing it for exclusivity. They don't have to be exclusive to some kind of platform. But if they make their game large enough, you can't fit nothing else onto your damn computer or onto your PlayStation or your Xbox without uninstalling one and installing the other. So maybe they're doing this to captivate your attention and to go, this is too much of a pain in the ass, so I'm just going to stick with this game.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Call of Duty, since I'm kind of on the subject already.
Oh, Lord.
BBC has confirmed it, along with a couple other sources, that Call of Duty is getting its own movie.
Yeah. It'll be just like the video game trash.
And I would love to see how they decide to do a movie about a game where your average lifespan is about 18 seconds.
Well, I think they're going to be, I guess, I would think they're going to be going off of the campaigns more than anything, because a lot of the...
they would have to.
A lot of the campaigns are intermingled, especially now with Black Ops and in Modern Warfare. It's kind of hard to talk about Call of Duty campaigns because when you're talking about it, it's kind of like talking about the multiverse. But I honestly, cinematically, I'd love to see what they would do with it, but I don't think it's going to be that great.
You cut out again. We didn't hear that whole last part, but that's okay. For Call of Duty, they got to do something because they are about to get their asses handed to them by Battlefield 6. The only thing that I am seeing on the internet right now when it comes to uh, the Call of Duty Battlefield type games is Battlefield is going to wipe the floor with them.
And it's about
And
time.
if Call of Duty doesn't make a major change here soon, then Call of Duty is going to fall back to where Medal of Honor is right now, to where hardly anybody's talking about it.
Well, and like
Now,
I said when I cut out, is I would love to see what they could do cinematically for the movie. However, I already know that it's probably going to be action packed, explosions every 5 seconds, no real good dialogue, and just I feel like it's going to be a lot of cornball shit.
well, that's Call of Duty for you.
But I mean, there have been great campaigns that I feel like they could make a good movie out of, but I don't know if they're going to go down that route.
All right, so let me go back to mine real quick. The only thing that was announced in this Starfield thing, real quick, so we can completely get off of Starfield, is the rumor mill out there, and this makes a lot of sense to me. And I found this on Game Rant, so if you want to go read the entire article, you can. Uh, Everyone is saying that, and this makes a lot of sense, that when Starfield releases for the PlayStation 5 and for the Switch 2, which is spring of 2026, that is when they're going to launch their DLC, which is going to launch a whole new quest line, and they're going to clean up like the space travel and some other things. And when I was reading it, it makes a lot of sense, because if you add more content to it when you release it for the other consoles, you are going to draw in a lot of your former players who are going to go, "Ooh, I at least I want to go try it." And so their dismal player numbers right now might see a nominal boost, and depending on how things are, it'll either level out or it'll tank again. One of the two.
Yeah. I mean, I tried playing Starfield, and I will say I had a lot of hope for it when I originally started trying to play it, but
Well,
there
here's the
was
problem with it. Here's the problem with it. And a lot of players fell into the same thing you're about to say, and a lot of players fell into the same thing that Ray will say about it. This comes from a company who taught us to pick up everything, scrap it to survive. And that is a true line from
oh.
Crust Rider. He said it a million times. What are you laughing about, Fireball?
Chris Ryder
We'll tell you after the show.
Yeah, we'll tell you after the show.
All right, I'm kind of nervous now.
I was doing something and he noticed.
However, okay, we'll get back on topic. However, for Starfield, here's the problem with most people, with 90% of people. They know it's a Bethesda title. They know what Bethesda normally does. But you are comparing Starfield to Fallout. Fallout is not Starfield. Starfield is not Fallout. Just like Doom, who is also made by Bethesda, shares nothing with Fallout.
But that's the thing, and that's the thing moving forward when you're talking about bringing out new video games, especially like what Bethesda did. They said it. I forget what they said. They said it was going to be like a space. It was going to be a space RPG open world game, and
And it
immediately,
is.
right then and there, you look at Bethesda and you're like, open world RPG. It's going to be in space. I mean, that's new, but when you're looking at Bethesda, when you're looking at Bethesda and we're talking about Bethesda, the first thing that comes to mind is Fallout. When they bring out a new,
That doesn't matter.
hold on, and this goes for a lot of different companies when they're trying to come out with a new game. This goes for
You're
a
cutting
lot
out
of
again.
this goes for a lot of companies when they're trying to unveil a new game and they give the same tags as a previous game they made. It then falls under that, like, oh, This is just a new rendition of said game. That's why when a lot of people saw Starfield, they were like, "Oh, space Fallout," and
But you see,
I fell under that same rendition because it was like,
Now,
this is what I was
I will
expecting.
add that is also a mentality maintained by players, not because it's a space Fallout, but because it's a Bethesda title. And Bethesda RPGs are renowned for kleptomania, hoard it all. You break all this stuff down, you sell it, especially in their last couple of games. You know, you've always been able to just pick up everything in sight. It wasn't always useful, but you could sell it,
I mean,
get a few
look at
pieces of
Fallout.
gold or a couple of caps out of it.
Look at Fallout. Look at Skyrim. I mean, I know you can kind of do the same thing with Starfield, but you just going into it,
You
I
could
was
do
like, yeah.
you could do the same thing in Fallout 3. You could do it in Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, all of the Bethesda made RPGs of this type. Because like it or not, Starfield does fit this same vein of grand sprawling open world RPG. And that came with certain expectations.
But the other thing that I think that killed Starfield was the fact that there was a lack of content.
no, there wasn't. There's plenty of content in it.
I'm talking.
There's an overabundance. There's too much
When I'm
actually.
talking, when I say when there is a lack of content, the thing that I mean about that is if you play a game like Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout, when you're going to the main objective or you're going to the side objective, whichever, like if you want to go do side quests, you can go do side quests. If you want to do the main objective or main quest, go do the main quest. But as you're traveling to that main quest to get it or to get it discovered on your map, so you can then fast travel, you're gonna run into a bunch of things in between reaching your destination, and that's what keeps you like engaged into the game. When it came to Starfield, it was okay, go to this go to this planet, talk to this person, spend maybe 2 to 5 minutes on this planet, go back to your ship, take off, go to a different planet, go fetch this, go talk to this person, they send you somewhere
Nope.
else.
You are absolutely giving it a wrong definition here, and I can prove this. Okay, so I just restarted Starfield on the PC. Everybody knows that Fallout 76 I restarted on the PC. Everybody knows that Grand Theft Auto I restarted on the PC along with Starfield. Okay, and I paid attention to what you, Crest Rider, and Chungus have all said in the past about Starfield because I wanted to see if I could see it or if I was being blind to it. So as I'm running through New Atlantis, let's take New Atlantis for instance, okay? I go from the Mass District, and the only way to get out of there is to take the NAT, get to the spaceport, run from the NAT to your ship, take your ship, and go off planet, right? According to Fireball, that's how this goes. Am I correct or am I wrong? I want to make sure I'm staying on point here.
Yeah,
Okay?
like I said,
We're going to go by this step by step. So hang on. So as I go from Mass, let's say from the Vanguard, going to the spaceport to take off, I stop by the commercial district to sell off, to get underweight because I know I'm going into battle. Get med packs, get ammo, get whatever I need, and move on. I ran across 3 side quests during that time.
no, I'm not talking. Okay, that's where you're off. That's where you're off topic now.
Now, hold on. Now I get off planet, and let's say I can't reach the other planet because my ship doesn't have enough quote unquote fuel, which is bullshit excuse anyways, to get to that planet. So I have to hopscotch between a couple other solar systems to get there. Okay? So when I get to that solar system, the one of the in-between ones, I run across 2 other side quests.
But that's where you lost the whole premise that I was making was yeah, you're gonna run into side quests. What I'm talking about is like, for instance, when you're playing Fallout 4 and you're following the trail to Kellogg, right? And
Yep.
Dogmeat takes you on this long, elaborate path.
Yep.
There are events in between. It's kind of like the Stranger and Freaks missions side missions that you get in GTA 5,
Which are garbage.
which or you'll get random events where it's like, oh, this person robbed me, or hey, this guy took my bike, and you're not in a mission per se, but you're just out free roaming. Okay.
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 You have the
Hold on.
same thing.
Hold on. Hold on. You're free roaming.
Hold on. Before I forget this. You have the same thing in Starfield. You show up on a planet. There is a fight going on between spacers and another ship, and most of the time that ship is outnumbered. So you join the fight because one of the things you have to do is you have to defeat X amount of ships to get a better license to be able to fly a larger ship. You get done doing that, and then it might be Freestar, it might be the UC, it might be school children, it might be Postal, or their version of the post office, but then it gives you the option. Do you want to deliver this parcel to another star system? Takes you way the hell out of your way, and then by the way, when you get there, there's like 3 or 4 other things for you to do.
Well,
But then it's up to you as the player to go back and decide: am I going to do the side quest, or am I going to turn it around and go back and do that main quest? So to say that there's nothing to do is giving it an injustice, because what I think is going on, and the more I think about it, is everybody is hung up on Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 and the way Bethesda does things with Fallout, that they are not being, they're not flying into this without their blinders on. Because right now, a lot of players who drop the game, and that's fine, it's just more time for me and more stuff for me to do. They came in with blinders on. This is going to be Fallout but in space. When in reality, they weren't open to a new storyline or a new franchise from Bethesda.
That's because they didn't want it.
Exactly.
We didn't.
Exactly.
And I mean, I can honestly say this, and this goes just for me. I don't know if Crest Rider will agree with me, and I know Godfather won't. I didn't want Starfield. I didn't want a Starfield like.
Couldn't care less.
I couldn't have cared less about Starfield. Give me a new Skyrim. Give me a new Elder Scrolls. Give me a new Fallout. Do what you do is best. What was the last thing you heard?
We know what you said. Give me a new Skyrim. Give me a new Fallout.
Do what you do is do what you do is best.
Well, okay, so they came out with 2 other Dooms in between, right?
Doom is developed by id Software. Bethesda's simply the publishers.
Exactly. So
that means they're not developing it.
I know, yeah. But when it comes down to it, and I've said this multiple times, and Crest Rider can he'll probably shake his head yes at this. I think that they messed up by jumping Starfield in front of Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's 3 years post Starfield, correct? About 3 years.
And like 6 years post Elder Scrolls 6 announcement.
Hold on, I'm getting to that. So we're 3 years post their last.
This is the same argument that we've had about 6 times. Yeah. And every time we get onto Starfield, it devolves into the same argument.
Well, obviously, the argument needs to be that Bethesda just doesn't give a shit about that game. Because if they did, we would have that game already, or we'd have a major announcement.
I think the argument is that the one above me is their biggest staunch supporter.
Well, that's because I love the game. I came into it with an open mind.
That one. Not this one. That one.
I came into this game with an open mind. I was ready for a new storyline. I was ready for a new title. And on top of that, maybe this is where they got me at, but I am a huge Star Trek fan. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I like to build things in game, and I was able to have all of that in one game. So I was open to it. Now,
Go build a ship in No Man's Sky and let's move on.
Now, one thing they could have done better.
I built my Waffle House. That's all I wanted to do.
The one thing that I wish they would have done, and I really fault Bethesda and Starfield for this, their outpost building sucks ass. Mm-hmm. That right there is a big turnoff. But I agree with Crust Rider. Let's move. We got to get into. Hey, Crust Rider, why don't you tell me about the World of Warcraft Legion remix news?
So, the PTR for the PTR for the 11.2.5, which also hosts the Legion remix, went live at just about the same time that the 11.2 patch hit, and they ran the remix test for about 2 weeks, and they got a lot of feedback from other players.
Did you see that, Chris Ryder? He didn't want to listen anymore.
I see that. He just walks away. So they got a lot of feedback from players, and there was a lot of complaints about power cap and not being the infinite power that we had with the Mists of Pandaria remix. Mm-hmm. So Blizzard came back and went, all right, we're going to make these changes and we're going to let it run another week. And it has been running that other week. So hopefully with the continued feedback that they get, which I'm waiting to see what they say more. I haven't seen a whole lot because that week is just about to conclude. Legion Remix is going to be a fantastic event. Okay, it's supposed to start on October 7th.
I've been kind of confused about World of Warcraft lately just because, like, you're talking about... I know Mist of Pandaria. I think that's the last expansion that I really kind of...
So, what your confusion is where does this fit all in? So, Mists of Pandaria Classic is its own separate side game. It exists, but it's almost like a parallel universe where it's 10 expansions back. Mm-hmm. Not quite 10, but
I stopped following after Mists of Pandaria, so you could tell me how many expansions there are afterwards, and I wouldn't know.
Let's put it this way: Mists of Pandaria came out in 2012 originally, 2025. So the classic scene is about 13 years behind right now. So what the Legion Remix is it's an event that happens in the retail World of Warcraft. So it exists almost in an instance of the retail game.
Oh, okay.
You create special characters. Okay, you're familiar with Diablo, aren't you?
No.
Okay, well that kind of ruins that analogy.
WoW was my when it came to Blizzard, WoW was my biggest game.
All right.
I played it a lot during Wrath of the Lich King.
So basically, what it boils down to is when they do these special events, you have your normal characters that you play. Mm-hmm. But you also have the ability to create what would essentially be a seasonal character that would go into this special content only and cannot interact with the regular world.
Okay, so it's kind of...
And then when that season concludes, they pop back into the normal.
So it's kind of like, it's kind of like in Destiny 2 when we have our seasonal stuff. We could run our more times than not. We have to use certain gear for the seasonal gear.
You won't use the same character though. You create a special character for it.
Okay. Yep. I understand.
And they learned their lesson from last time because there were a lot of people that wanted to pull their characters early from the Mists of Pandaria remix but couldn't. So this time you're going to be able to pull your Legion remix character out early, but once they come out, they can't go back.
Right. Okay.
And that lets it cut into, if you want to level up a new character and just get it running, you could use the event to do that because there's going to be a lot of experience boosters and stuff that you unlock that give you the ability to level up much faster.
Okay. Well, that actually clarifies a lot for me. I'm really surprised WoW is still going.
Undoubtedly, as the event kicks off, I will have a lot more information to talk about it. It was nice to see that Blizzard took the feedback of the players and went, okay, we're making these changes. We're giving you another week to do it. So let us know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you for covering that. Guys, you missed all of it. We're moving on.
Actually, I didn't, because he talks about it all the time on Thirsty Thursday and Talking Tuesday. Because unlike some of us on this broadcast,
I had new news that you hadn't heard.
Oh. Oh. Well, you just deflated my fucking balloon, but that's okay.
Just goes to show you the amount of respect I get on this show.
I wouldn't know about that. But anyway, hey, I got one thing for us.
Okay.
There is a 30-minute trailer out there that I just about jumped up and down in my chair about on Thursday. They are making a new James Bond 007 game.
I did see that.
That is going to come out for all platforms, which made me even happier yet. You can get it on the PC, the PS5, the Xbox, both versions, and the Nintendo Switch too. I went and I looked at that video. I think this is going to be a very good addition to the 007 franchise. So
I honestly hope it is.
I do too.
The problem is, and always will be, with 007 games,
yeah,
is does it hold a candle to GoldenEye?
Exactly. Exactly.
I think
because they could sit there and be like, all right, we have remastered GoldenEye. We have left Pierce Brosnan in there as James Bond. We have added modern day controls, and we are putting it out for, $60, $70, whatever. People would dive on that, especially if they added internet connectivity for multiplayer, rather than just the couch version that we had back in the day.
I remember, and this is funny. I remember losing a lot of friendships due to the Golden Gun. I also remember getting my ass beat a lot because of the Golden Gun.
The Golden Gun is just it's the equivalent of Mario Party in GoldenEye. It's the argument starter.
Yes.
And then in a future game, Rare came out and one-upped themselves by making Perfect Dark with a gun that you could shoot through walls.
Damn, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. I've got something. So, Godfather loves this game. Not really. We all hate it. But Indiana Jones just got a new update.
That's all.
With a harder difficulty and everything, and like DLC content on top of it.
Does it tell you everything you need to know about how much I know or care about this game? And I went, wait, there's an Indiana Jones game?
Yeah. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It was not that great.
Anything.
No, you're not really missing anything on that. But
I don't want to be disrespectful to the developers who undoubtedly put a lot of time and effort into the game, but even if I had heard about it, it didn't scratch any itch that made it worth remembering for me. So,
Hey, Crest Rider.
Better luck next time.
You like zombie shooters, right?
I do, but at the same time, I have difficulty playing them because my wife very much does not. And anytime I try and play them, she feels like she's alienated. So it can be a challenge for me to enjoy games like that.
Okay, what's your favorite zombie game then? Zombie shooter.
7 Days to Die is a lot of fun. Dying Light is also fantastic.
Okay. You played Left 4 Dead at all?
I have played.
Well, as of 4 days ago, there was an announcement. The creator of Left 4 Dead, Mike Booth, has announced that he has been working on a brand new 4-player co-op shooter The game is now in early development, and it's they're on the hunt for playtesters to help. But he's basically taking everything that when he created Left 4 Dead, and he's putting it back into Left 4 Dead, or he's putting it back into this game. So
That's a zombie game.
I believe it's another. It's going to be another zombie horde shooter.
All right.
What? You know what? Why don't we, instead of making it a horror, well, it could still be a horror game, replace all the zombies with toddlers. Everything is exactly the same.
Hold on.
Instead of rotting dead people chasing you, it's just hungry toddlers.
Hold on. I like where you're going with this, but it's already been done. If you go to
and instead of bullets, you have snacks that you're throwing at them.
Hold on. So if this is the reason why I love Left 4 Dead so much, is because you can go into the Steam Workshop and you can download whatever mod you want.
See, but I don't want to throw skins into a game that I'm actively shooting. Like I legit want a game where you run around and you pick up freaking goldfish crackers and boxes of chocolate milk, and you're like whipping these at these groups of kids, and instead of dying, they just go to sleep.
Hold on. Wait. I'm gonna say this.
We don't need. Yeah. We don't need to come under investigation.
Just because, like, one of my favorite YouTubers, the Russian Badger, he did an entire YouTube video talking about Left 4 Dead. He got it to the point to where he made the smoker or the hunter Chuck E. Cheese. He made the Boomer, the cow from Barnyard. He had all the normal zombies, the little Fall Guys guys. Like, he modded it so much that it was like you couldn't even tell that it was Left 4 Dead if you didn't know what he was playing. And it's like, I love the fact that there are games out there that have that mod capability. That
I like my non-violent version better.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
You know what? I am going to send over both of these to my expert in the horror and zombie area. I'm gonna send both of these over to Santiago. Let him play it if he has time to. And then
I mean, to be fair, my version doesn't exist. It's just a silly pipe dream that made me laugh. So
yeah, but no, yeah. I mean, the last horde shooter that came out that like tried to rival Left 4 Dead was Back 4 Blood, and that flopped. I don't think there was really anything out there for that.
That's because video game developers, every time they want to make a sequel, they're like, we need to reinvent this and people are going to love it. And it's like, people want more of what they had. Make more of that.
Mm-hmm. If they made a Left 4 Dead 3, I would absolutely love it.
You can iterate on it by adding more features, more story, but they want the same gameplay. They just want to experience new things in the same gameplay.
But and I honestly, I could say this, and I know I really haven't talked about it a lot, so this is my little tidbit of it. You know, look at the first Helldivers. It was a top-down horde shooter.
Oh, Lord.
Then they went back in and they created it 3D. They brought back most of the enemies from the first game. They created some new enemies, but it's still kind of the same thing. And everybody who has played it previously has come back and been like, we love this even more. So I get what you're saying when it comes to that. But
all right, let's get back on topic.
Also, talking about zombie horror or zombie.
Oh,
games,
Lord.
You said have you played the new rendition of 7 Days since it came out of alpha?
Left 4 Dead? No.
7 Days.
Oh, 7 Days? Yeah, I've played it. I've played modded as well.
I've the reason why I think 7 Days has been, I'm glad it's making a comeback because there's a lot of people playing it now, but you know, being in alpha for 7 years didn't help it at all.
Damn, you have got to figure out your mic issue.
Well, we're almost. I'm running out of things to talk about, so the podcast.
Okay, well that's good. You haven't been looking at the show notes, I see.
I really can't without my stream going down.
Hey, by the way, Crush Rider.
Yo.
Click on another box, please. anything but there you go. Okay, so the last point. I guess I get last shot of this on today's episode. Pokemon Go. All three of us here play it.
Mm-hmm.
I know Fireball does. He's been getting more active. I've been very proud of him for that. I know Zanar Crest Rider does, because I see him. Does anybody know what these community events are all about? Like, is it a bunch of freaking people that show up to the same place and
so depending on the community event that you're talking about, some community events are hosted in a particular location. Some community events are just, hey, at this day, at this time, around your local areas, all of this is going to happen, whether it be a particular Pokemon spawns or there was just certain items are easier to find, eggs are easier to acquire. It all depends on the focus of the particular day. So it's kind of a mix and match of they have done local, like, go to this city and it's going to be a big event. You can get special, like, limited edition stuff. But they've also done just it's the September 2025 community day, and usually what those are is a ticket that they sell in their shop for real money that you buy to gain access to the event.
Okay.
We were talking earlier, I don't know, maybe a month or two back, dear Crust Rider, about Pokemon Go and some of our complaints about it. Pokemon has updated about this much. About that much. They have made it easier to get Pokemon. There's also a hidden feature now in the game. You got to go into the settings. But if you turn off, and I forget what, I have my phone over here, but I'm not going to do it. If you turn off a certain setting, the whole game goes back to being wild, where you can get, different Pokemon are going to be coming into your area instead of the same Pokemon day in and day out. So once I turned that on,
regional setting versus the random setting.
Yeah, I turned on the random and turned off region, because there for a while I was only getting the same Pokemon. I got one Pokemon that is like up in damn near 2,500 in hit points. And it's only because for like 3 months straight, that's the only goddamn thing I could find. And then once I turned it off and I turned it back to random, now I'm getting all sorts of stuff again. But I bring up Pokemon Go for a reason. And I brought it up to YouTube before the episode, but I'm bringing it up on air now. I have been in communication with a chapter of the Pokemon Go community. I believe this is going to be the very first live Nomad Gamers event where we are outside of the Shire or where we reside at and talking to actual gamers. Am I right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, and I'm kind of wrapping up the episode, so if you guys have any go backs, let me know. With that being said, it's going to be a special episode of either Talking Tuesday or Thirsty Thursday, or it might be a recorded session, and I might post it later. But I think what I'm going to do, and I'm looking for a head nod from my two co-hosts, I might record it and put it on the Nomad Gamers Facebook page, because we only need 11 more likes to be able to go live there.
Yeah.
Well, if we had the ability to sit down in Discord separately with the three of us and anybody out of your group that you're able to do it, even if we don't have to meet with a show time, that opens up the availability a lot more to catch somebody out of their group.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking to a young lady who is, I don't think she's a spokesman for the community, but she knows of a lot of people who would be more than willing to sit down and talk with us. So when I finally nail that all down, I will be announcing it on the Nomad Gamers Facebook page, uh, and then sharing it from there to Godfather or wherever we got to share it to. But that's one of them. The other big news we got going on, and I believe all three of us are going to be in on this interview, is I finally have an interview with a member from the 5M community. I am keeping the is it called a server?
Yeah,
World
they
City.
host various servers.
But okay, so I'm gonna keep the server confidential for now. Uh, and then we will announce it maybe an hour or two before the interview. But that will be on Talking Tuesday on God's Father, and I will have Sonar Crest Rider with me, and I will also have Fireball with me. So you will have all the Nomad gamers on Talking Tuesday, and that Tuesday has not been decided yet. I'm still talking with that gentleman, but as soon as we nail down a date, then I will make sure that I get it out there for our community to know about and be able to tune in for.
You may want to hold back on promising to share which server that we are interviewing with until you have the permission from the people we're interviewing, just in case they wish to keep that confidential.
That's why I didn't say anything. So I'm holding it back because we're still in talks and we'll figure it out from there. So, all right, Fireball, you want to go with your last takes? I'm gonna go ahead and shut my camera off while you're doing it.
All right. Well, I mean, not really much to go off of. Thank you guys for watching the Nomad Gamers podcast. We, I think you guys have noticed what the last few times we've been recording is we've gone over the hour mark limit. We're not doing that anymore. We're just seeing where the conversation takes us. So times will fluctuate, but thank you guys so much for watching Nomad Gamers podcast. I've got nothing really going on. Things have just kind of been playing it by ear. So.
Alrighta, you're up, my man.
I've got nothing to add. I will just point out to the two of you guys, though, that if you want to focus on one individual while they're talking, if you just click on them in the Discord window, it'll bring them up to the full screen and make the others real small at the bottom.
I did not know that.
That way, when we're doing things like this, you could be like, all right, this person's got the focus. The other guys are still visible and they can still chime in. But if you want to set the focus on anyone, other than that, I got nothing.
My chair just broke.
The
wheels popped off.
All right. Well, I pretty much said everything I wanted to say when I was wrapping up the episode. Like my two co-hosts had already said, we are trying to get more organized on the podcast. We're trying to bring you better content, more interesting content, trying to get away from, as I call it, beating a dead horse, where we talk about the same thing over and over and over and over again and argue about the same stuff over and over and over and over again. So I thought it was a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
we shouldn't talk about Starfield anymore.
Well, I try not to, but you two
don't look at me.
Hey,
try to get me going.
There was actually something. There was actually something that was newsworthy about Starfield, so I had to bring it up. For once.
All right. Well, I think we are done for today. I want to invite all of you that are watching on any of our social media platforms to go over like Godfather on Facebook and follow him. I encourage everyone who's out there watching on any of mine to go over to Fireball 123D. Hey, just shut up, you. 123D. And I look forward to seeing you all again at 7 p.m. on Tuesday for Talking Tuesday. Peace and love. Godfather's out the door.
Zenar Crest Rider signing off.
Before we say anything else.